Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another 4K mini action figure review on the Metacom MAFEX X-Men's Wolverine. Try to get your MAFEX figures, you can do so at Megalopolis City of Collectibles, where they have an awesome rewards points program over there, and they have many action figures, including MAFEX, Marvel Legends, all kinds of stuff. Check them out, proud sponsor of the ShartimusPrime YouTube channel, link in the description below. And here is the packaging for this MAFEX figure. Once again, showing off an image of Wolverine over here on the top left, which reminds me of the comics, but I don't think this is the referenced image for the figure. This looks like Jim Lee, right? This is Jim Lee art, I believe, and it says, "I'm the best there is at what I do." It says Marvel 6-inch right there, 096 MAFEX. You can see a product shot right over there. You can see the big old fin ears, or they're not as big as they are right over here. And this image says Wolverine X-Men. On the side, you can see another product shot, and then on the back, you can see a whole bunch more product shots right over there. And on the side, you get Wolverine, and then there's this headshot, and then there's an X at the bottom. Again, not, the source image, right? I don't know. Is it? I don't know. We'll discuss that more in just a little bit. But anyway, you get some more imagery right over there on the top, and not much more at the bottom. And we're going to gently place this to the side because I keep the boxes to my MAFEX figures. And here's Wolverine, looking awesome. Now, I do feel like I am the last established reviewer to talk about this guy. This has been in my possession for a couple weeks now, and I even picked it up late, so I'm not even tripping off of that side of it. But the thing is that I didn't want to get this at first. I just really had low expectations for this figure. I'm really happy with the Marvel Legends Wolverine figures that we've been getting, so this is just one that I just wasn't really that excited for it. I love MAFEX, trust me. I'm like one of the first people that sang MAFEX's praises, but man, it's just, I just didn't feel like it was so necessary. I have it in hand, and I like it. So let's take a closer look at the unmasked head sculpt, which is one of my favorite parts of this figure, because I don't think we've gotten an unmasked head sculpt quite like this with this much Wolverine hair. And I love that we're getting all this Wolverine hair. How do you like that 4K, by the way? I like the 4K. Let's get closer in here, bubby. Yeah, let's get that 4K. And look at those bushy eyebrows with the blue paint. It's a little hardcore with that blue paint, though, on the face, right? Kind of looks a little out of place, but still pretty good. I do like it. Ah, man, as I look at this more and more, I do feel like the blue for the hair is just a bit overdone. You know what I mean? They could have given us more black. I love the blue mixed in with black. It reminds me of the comics, but it's more like the highlights are the black paint and the base color is blue. It should be the other way around. Even though the way the paint is applied, it's definitely black as a base coat, but yeah, it's just so much blue over the black that it almost looks like the blue is, the primary color for that hair. I did pop the head off right there. And then the eyebrows, again, are all blue. I love the face, though. I do like the flesh tone, so I think that looks really good. And it's mostly very clean, too. So overall, I do like this head sculpt. I do think it looks pretty good. You also get the mask right over here. Flopped, for the back. I'm going to get this back on automatic right over here. So, putting this on here, it's a pretty tight fit, but it works. You know what I mean? You get that on there. I'm going to go ahead and remove that and show off the relaxed head sculpt right there. Doesn't look too bad. I dig it. And we also get the angry head sculpt, which I also really, really like. And then we get 3 sets of hands, which is great. So you get the, the Jean Grey photograph petting hand right there. Nice silver right there for the claw sheaths. And same thing with the fisted hand. So you get 2 of each of these, of course. Very nice, shiny, metallic blue paint. And then you get these claw hands, which look awesome. However, I kind of feel like these claw hands are just a little bit too long. I don't know. It's just, they're supposed to come out of his forearm, and his forearm ends there. So it's like you have this distance from here to here. And then, come on, let's just go ahead and measure it out, huh? I'm a nerd. I'm a nerdy guy about it. So that's right at 1.5 inches right there. So do we have 1.5 inches worth of arm? Yeah, see, if those were going into his body, it would go past the elbow, so he wouldn't be able to bend his elbows once the claws were retracted, Did I use that word right? Or when, once his claws are, sheathed in, they're going to go all the way up into the forearm, or into the bicep right there. So it's a little exaggerated, but overall nice looking, And I wish they were kind of splayed out a little bit more. It reminds me of a rake. This is just really one of the big downsides to the figure for me. I wasn't really happy with these claws. So, yeah, that just took down my excitement for this figure a bit. I wish they were kind of splayed out a little bit more, a little bit more like this, I do like these claws more. And, I do like the silver paint on this a whole lot more. And one of them came out a little funky on that one right there. Yeah, can you see it? The paint's just kind of missing. I didn't do anything to it to make that happen. That's just how it came. So that's frustrating. That's one thing I don't like about the figures. The claws do throw me off. But, better for them, being a little bigger than too small. I do have some reference shots right over here. I looked up Marvel vs. Capcom, and this reminds me of the figure, especially with that light blue and those big ears right there, So I'm feeling like this is a Marvel vs. Capcom kind of Wolverine. And this definitely looks like a reference image for this figure, right? The big old ears, even the shape of that scowling expression that he's making. I was also thinking it did look like the Fox Kids Wolverine as well. Those are the extra-sized big ears. But to me, it's kind of closer to the, Marvel vs. Capcom look right over there. So I wanted to show that off. I know it's kind of ghetto comparison style. But hey, we're all doing this in one take because I'm working on a very special video that's coming up later on, either tomorrow or the next day. Now, I wanted to get into the details, right? Because, we already looked at the head and everything. But we get some nice metallic blue right over here. I've heard people complain about the paint apps. I think mine came out actually pretty okay. I would have liked to see some kind of yellow shading because at the price point, this is a very premium figure, so I would have liked a little bit more. You can see it kind of gets darker, but I just think that's just natural lighting. You can see that metallic blue right over here on the inside. Did come out pretty clean. Did I get an extra dot? I got a little tiny extra dot right over there and over there, but really, I think this is executed quite well. I'm happy with the way the paint came out on this. Right here on the shoulder, the spikes on the shoulders. Ooh, I like how that goes into that butterfly joint right there. That's neat. Came out pretty clean. Very smart on there, for them to do that. I like that, instead of it just being bare. And there's looking at the back, and then looking at the arms. I think the arms came out really good, too. I'm really happy with this. A lot of hair. I wish, sculpted hair would have been cool, but I like this. And I like how bulky he is and everything, so that's cool, too. I like that. Then there's his X belt, came out looking very clean. X butt right there with a little, cloth wrinkle going on. Or spandex, whatever it's made out of. And then, very bland yellow paint, nice and bright. And then looking at the boots right over here, came out looking very clean. That metallic blue looks so great, man. It's just one thing that I really dig about the MAFEX figures. No peg holes at the bottom of the feet, though. So let's get into articulation. All right, get back. All right, so he can look up, bub, all right, and he can look down, bub. You get side-to-side motion and great head pivoting right there, bub. And, these ears are pretty soft. I never feel like they're going to break on me or anything like that. Let's get the focus to... stay in place. There you go. Lock that in. All right. You get the butterfly joint that shifts forward and back right here. And it will... This happened earlier than I was hoping. But anyway, it shifts up and down as well. And you also get rotation for these shoulder pads too. So they're on a pin and ball kind of thing, so it rotates forward and back. Yeah, so, jeez. All right, you can rotate the shoulders full 360, and you can get the shoulders moving outward. Oh, my God. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. All right, so poor Wolverine. Will he grow back? I don't think so. I think that only happens with Deadpool, right? Or does it happen with the whole body? I can't remember. For some reason, I think, didn't Wolverine's head get cut off, and then, he survived? And, anyway. I don't know if Wolverine could actually grow limbs back because his whole, body's encased in adamantium. So, all right. So this right here is really the biggest downside of the figure, is that these do pop off. I may or may not have heard of people complain about this, but it's extremely frustrating because this is not a cheap figure, and something like that happening to a very expensive figure is incredibly annoying. So I wish that was not happening, but you get a full rotation right there. Bicep swivel if you're careful enough. or else you're, walking into a dismembered Wolverine. All right, anyway, you get double jointed elbows, and then the wrist turns side to side and hinge up and down or side to side depending on how you have it configured. You get a good diaphragm joint. It's pretty stiff. Turns side to side. A little bit of diaphragm pivot, and it moves forward and back. You get good waist rotation, better waist pivot, and better crunching at the waist. You get the drop down hips right here, so I do like that. That's cool. You can get the leg kicking outward from the side that much, drop down, get them kick all the way up that far, and not back, really. Yeah, you can't really get the legs moving back. You get rotation right over here at the hip, and then good double jointed knees. I feel like this one has a little bit of an exposed, section to the knee that frustrates me. Once in a while it frustrates me. I just noticed some extra black paint right over here on the inside of this boot. Didn't notice that earlier. Anyway, you do get rotation right here. I felt like you can get rotation at the boot. Yeah, it'll rotate a little bit right there at the boot. And then maybe you're not supposed to do that. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to break the figure. So, hey, don't do that. Because you can turn the ankle side to side just fine. So just stick to that. I'm not going to keep pushing that. But I feel like it wants to move a little bit. But just rotate this side to side. You do get beautiful ankle pivot. And the ankles do move down. They move up. And he has some gorgeous toe articulation right there. So that's cool. All right, let's get some measurements in here. And, ooh, these are pointy blades, by the way. So I just kind of pricked myself a little bit with that one. Did I draw any blood? No. But, give you a little bit of scratchy a little bit, maybe comb your hair with it or something like that. Use your Wolverine. All right. I do like how the musculature is sculpted on this, too. You can see a lot of the abs and all that. So that's really cool. I like that. But getting this guy stood up right over here. Try to get as vanilla posed as I possibly can. So we can measure him and get some size comparisons going. All right, and maybe a good idea to get him into focus as well. Maybe. All right, so there we go. And let's get the tape measure out here. And you can see that Wolverine is standing to the top of his head. It's right at 6 inches. Those ear fin thingies are, 6 1/4 inches high. And then for a MAFEX comparison, I do have my MAFEX Spider-Man. And I do have the cel-shaded one that I was actually going to review today instead of this Wolverine figure, but the wrist peg on the cel-shaded one broke on me, man. So I'm trying to get a replacement right now, which sucks because I had no problems with this figure right here, but yeah. Anyway, you can see that Wolverine's just a little bit smaller than Spidey. I think Wolverine could be even shorter. Spider-Man's not super tall. I always thought Spider-Man was closer to 5'10". Wolverine's supposed to be about, 5'3", right? Something like that. So, Wolverine should be a little bit shorter, even stockier, shorter. But, I don't know, I still kind of like how they look side by side. The metallic sheens on these just looks really cool to me. All right, let's get some Marvel. Oh, wait, sorry. I also wanted to get Blanca from SH Figure Arts out here, because if we're doing our Marvel vs. Capcom, it's like these two I'd really like to see fight each other, right? And that looks cool. I like that. So if you wanted this to be your Marvel vs. Capcom Wolverine, you can get that display going, I think. I think that could come out pretty cool. And let's see here. We got some Marvel. Oh! Speaking of Marvel vs. Capcom, we have the amazing Yamaguchi Wolverine figure. Now, I always felt like this was my Marvel vs. Capcom, not just on the aesthetics, but like on the giant claws and everything. And you could see that the amazing Yamaguchi Wolverine and this MAFEX Wolverine are standing at about the same height, not counting the fins right over here. So that's pretty interesting. And the color scheme is very similar too. All right, and then let's get some legends. We have our Toy Biz Tiger Stripe Wolverine. And wow, and if you like that gray shading on the figure, that's my customizing from back in 2008. So I just took a pencil. I was just so annoyed not getting any shading. So you can see all this time I prefer shading, and we don't have shading on this one. Even though it does look like there is some slight color variation, but I don't think that's on purpose. Anyway, yeah, this is a shorter Wolverine. I kind of like that height a little bit more so. And then we have our latest and greatest Wolverine figures from Hasbro. And you can see that the Love Triangle 3-pack version right here is definitely more along the same color scheme as the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure Wave version right over here. And now I want to kind of go back and see these reference images really quick because, okay, so in the cartoon he did have the black right over here, and same thing with the Marvel vs. Capcom, you know, so both of them had the black, you know, for the spikes. So I guess I didn't even really notice it until just now, until comparing these other figures that, you know, that's supposed to be black and not blue. So I guess it's inaccurate. However, I do think it looked cool. What am I going to say, man? I thought it looked dope, but then if it's inaccurate, it's inaccurate. So maybe those spikes should have been black instead. And let's get a comparison right over here with the Marvel Legends Big Time Badass Spider-Man. And that looks pretty cool. Once again, you know, the size difference is pretty similar to what we'd seen with the MAFEX comic version Spider-Man. So there you go, man. I think this is a cool figure. I do like it. God, but the price point is just so high. It is just so freaking high for what it's worth. And I feel like, and you know, maybe it shouldn't be a thing, but it is, man. I'm so happy with the Wolverine figures that I've been getting at the $20 price range that it makes it harder for me to enjoy this figure because this is closer to the $100 price range, no matter where you buy it. And it's just, I think it looks cool, but I just think it's overpriced. I would totally be all in for this if it was closer to the $50 price range, but at $100, I'm gonna give it I'll wait for the Black Friday sale. Yeah, definitely wait for the Black Friday sale on this one. For me, anyway. I have just too many gripes with it. Like the rake claws over there, the biceps falling off. Maybe that's just on mine, not everybody else's, but a lot of other people have complained about QC issues with this figure. It looks cool though. At the same time, I still like it. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I give it a Black Friday sale rating, because if I had a chance to pick it up for a really good price, I would. But, you know, part of me, you know, kind of regrets picking it up. But at the same time, I got to review it and talk about it with you guys, and that's a lot of fun too. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, as well as the notification bell. And you can follow me on the Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. You can find out the latest of Marvel and Marvel news over at marvelousnews.com. And I will catch you guys later.